Welcome to Once Upon a Screen Time. This is another episode for a movie, and I have chosen Freaky Friday, so I hope you enjoy it this time. I'll be reviewing it, kind of, and retelling it as a fairy tale. So enjoy. Once upon a time, in a kingdom not so far away, nestled in the exotic lands of Los Angeles, there lived a mother and daughter as different as night and day. This is no ordinary story of witches, curses, and enchanted forests. No, it's a tale as old as time, but with a twist. A twist that includes teenage anxiety and, of course, body swapping. Welcome to the world of Freaky Friday, where mothers turn into daughters, and daughters, well, they get stuck in their mother's less than hip body and all its joys. Buckle up, because this isn't your average fairy tale. This is a legend of Anna and Tess, served hot and fresh like a plate of magical fortune cookies. In the bustling land of Los Angeles, where dreams come to die and traffic thrives, there lived a teenager named Anna Coleman. Anna was your average high school student, and by average you mean someone who listens to rock music like it's still the early 2000s, complains about everything, and is as misunderstood as every teenager believes themselves to be. She had big dreams, a tiny attention span, and a flair for rebellion that would make any medieval damsel in distress blush with envy. Then there's Tess, her mother, a hard-working therapist who speaks fluent, "I'm a grown-up, listen to me." Tess, who is engaged to the world's most vanilla fiancé, was the queen of micromanaging her daughter's life with all the grace of a strict headmistress at a boarding school for the hopeless. She was determined to fix Anna's problems, which mostly involved wearing too much eyeliner and being late to every family meal. What Tess didn't know, though, was the problem was about to get a lot more interesting. As with all good tales, there must be magic. But this isn't the land of fairies, potions, or enchanted mirrors. It's Los Angeles. So naturally, magic comes in the form of an overpriced Chinese restaurant. One fateful evening, Tess and Anna stormed into the mystical kingdom of fortune cookie takeout, where a mysterious waitress decided to meddle in their lives. Apparently, the wise old seer had seen enough mother and daughter squabbling for one lifetime and thought, you know what? Let's swap their bodies. That'll teach them a lesson. And so, with a cryptic fortune cookie and some ancient magic, the grand cosmic body swap was set in motion. Why? Because nothing says happy ending like a complete identity crisis. The next morning, the fun really began. Anna woke up in her mother's bed, staring at her reflection in the mirror and promptly freaking out. What could be worse than waking up as your 40-something-year-old mother? The hair, the wrinkles, the responsibilities. The horror. Meanwhile, Tess, now trapped in her daughter's teenage body, was facing a different kind of nightmare. High school. But don't worry, this tale isn't all doom and gloom. It's laced with enough slapstick comedy to make even the grumpiest of ogres crack a smile. Our heroines spent the first half of the day bumbling through each other's lives. Tess had to figure out how to use a cell phone that wasn't from the Stone Age, while Anna had to navigate the minefield of professional adulting, including therapy sessions that were so awkward. It was clear that neither one was particularly suited to the other's world, which made watching them struggle both hilarious and slightly tragic. If there's one thing that ages a soul faster than time, it's high school. Tess, now in Anna's body, discovers that the teenage kingdom is ruled by strange customs. First, there was the sacred ritual called PE, which involved running in circles like a headless chicken. Then she encountered Anna's bandmates. These merry pranksters delighted in making sarcastic comments and sneaking in through windows because apparently doors were too mainstream. In class, Tess's wisdom as a certified adult was no match for the bizarre quizzes and group projects. Maths, science. Tess hadn't used algebra since the Bronze Age, and now she had to survive it all over again. As the day went on, Tess realized that being a teenager wasn't all fun and games. Between avoiding the school bully, dealing with moody friends, and attempting to survive cafeteria food, Tess started to appreciate that maybe, just maybe, Anna's life wasn't as simple as she once assumed. Meanwhile, Anna, now in her mother's body, was facing a different kind of terror. Instead of dragon slaying or sorcery, she had to face the dreaded office meeting without the slightest idea of how to be a responsible adult. Anna wandered through her mother's life like a lost traveler in a desert full of spreadsheets, appointments, and coffee breaks. First, there was the coffee, the livelihood of the adult realm. Anna quickly learned that no grown-up can function without it. After her third cup, she finally understood why her mother always seemed a little twitchy in the mornings. Then came the therapy sessions. If there was ever a time Anna wished she had a magical escape route, it was while listening to people talk about their emotional baggage. She tried to say things like, "Tell me how that makes you feel," but somehow her lack of actual adult wisdom came through. But the real quest of the day? Surviving a book signing event for her mom's new self-help book, standing in front of a crowd of eager readers, asking for advice on how to balance work and life. And I had no choice but to offer wisdom straight from the teenage playbook. Don't stress, and try not to get grounded. Now, this wouldn't be a proper fairy tale if the characters didn't learn a lesson or two along the way. The mysterious waitress had done her job well, because as Tess and Anna struggled to survive each other's worlds, they slowly began to realize something profound. Was it the meaning of life? No, but close enough. Anna discovered that being a responsible adult is way harder than it looks, and that maybe her mom wasn't out to ruin her life after all. Tess, on the other hand, learned that being a teenager in the modern world was about as fun as wrestling a fire-breathing monster with one hand tied behind your back. The two began to understand each other in a way that no amount of mother-daughter therapy sessions or heart-to-heart talks could have accomplished. It took a mile walking in each other's shoes to realize that, at the end of the day, they were more alike than they have ever imagined. In the grand tradition of fairy tales, the journey wasn't just about adventure. It was about finding common ground, even if that ground is filled with algebra tests and therapy notes. Finally, after a series of mishaps, epiphanies, and one too many embarrassing moments, the magic was undone. No more body swapping, no more confusion, just the good old-fashioned mother-daughter duo back in their respective bodies. But things were different now. Anna no longer saw her mom as the evil overlord of laundry and curfews, and Tess no longer treated Anna like a rebellious minion. They had survived a Freaky Friday, and while they didn't exactly live happily ever after, they did manage to find a middle ground. It wasn't perfect, but life's never as simple as just riding off into the sunset. Sometimes you have to settle for riding off into a land of band practice and book signing. And so, our tale comes to an end. Was it a story of great heroism? Perhaps not. Were there grand battles or wicked witches? Well, there was a suspiciously meddlesome waitress, but that's about as close as we got. Yet, this was a tale of transformation, not just in the magical sense, but in the emotional one. Because sometimes the hardest journey isn't about slaying dragons or saving kingdoms. It's understanding the people closest to you. In the end, Anna and Tess didn't just swap bodies, they swapped perspectives. And that is the real magic of this Freaky Friday. And with that, we've come to an end of another episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, goodbye.